Hello. I really hope this stays put right here. Hope this is good. Okay, so today I had fun. I went out with a friend and we went to that water place that I mentioned in another video with the piers and stuff. Yeah, and we got some good food, and I might be able to put my Snap story in here. So this will be on the vlog. Anyway, so today's video is going to be on does going from public school to homeschool or online school make your mental illness worse. So I can only speak from the perspective of someone with an attention deficit disorder, major depressive disorder, major depression, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say, right? General anxiety, specifically social anxiety. But I do get like anxiety about other things, but I struggle with maladaptive dreaming and OCD. Oh, and an eating disorder, if I didn't mention that already. So, if you have one of those things, then this video would be more helpful towards you. And if you have something like psychosis or schizophrenia, I'm sorry. I don't think my video is really going to help you, but maybe it will. I don't know. So, same goes for personality disorders, because I feel like we all like struggle differently. So, anyway. So as far as OCD goes, same rituals and stuff, keep in mind, I mentioned in another video that I didn't know I had OCD too recently, so my rituals probably stayed the same, probably didn't make an effort towards changing them or getting over certain things. Actually, wait, no, that's false. I have been forcing myself to get over things being exact, and I've tried to get over touching gross things. I've tried, but I think that would have happened anyway. Eating disorder, it's so easy to starve yourself when you're online schooled. It's so easy. If you have an eating disorder that's really bad and your parents know and stuff, you know, you might want to create a meal plan for yourself where throughout the day, like, you have scheduled lunches, because that's not what I did, and I just went the whole day without eating much, not even with the intent of starving myself, but because I think anyone would just get so busy with online school and teaching yourself, and the thrill of, you know, being able to teach yourself, and you're teaching yourself successfully, it really can get a hold of you, especially at first when you're excited to start homeschooling, and you can just forget to eat. It happens. It really does. Especially when you lock yourself in your room and all you have in your room is your school stuff. You'll forget to eat. But then some other things happened. I don't want to talk about details about my eating disorder, but some other things happened that did not have to do with me being online schooled. So in a way it did get worse, but I don't think it was because of online school. Depression did not get worse also because of online school. Depression is triggered, okay? So it only gets worse if you leave public school and then you don't deal with the problems that led to your depression. If you're being bullied and it's making you depressed, making you feel like no one likes you, that you're just a worthless human being, and then you just go to online school and think that because there's no one to bully you anymore that you'll be happier. That's not true, because you still have memories. And I know when I left public school, I still had memories every single night. Like, I would literally go to bed and cry myself to sleep every night because I was reliving memories in my head from times when I was bullied, and I was bullied so long ago, and from times where I felt inadequate, and I had to deal with those problems, and I had to consciously actually think about these horrible memories and think about why it bothered me and stuff like that for it to stop. So if you don't do that, then it's going to continue bothering you. I hate talking in this voice fry. I'm just trying to talk low. Yeah. And let me see. General anxiety. That does not go away. It doesn't help that I take these caffeine pills think I took them last night, but I'm not taking them tonight. Definitely not, because then I woke up feeling sick. But yeah, anxiety, I feel like, is one of those things that's just always there, and you just have to deal with it different. Like acknowledge the anxiety is bothering you, and then try to think of all of the things that are bothering you in a day, and write them down or something. Just acknowledge it, because sometimes you can be running away from issues to the point where you forget what you're running from, but you're so anxious because your subconscious knows what you're running from. So you gotta figure out what those things are, bring them out, and address them, or think about why it's irrational or not productive to think about those things. ADD/ADHD, the same. I didn't even know I had those things. I still don't know. They still haven't like fully screened me for that. But they said they keep on. This is what I don't understand about the doctors. Like, they keep talking to me as if these things that I may have are things that I in fact have. So they're like, could be the ADD, could be the ADHD, and then I'm just like, huh? Or it could be the OCD. I'm not officially diagnosed with these things, but whatever. Maladaptive dreaming is something I dealt with, and I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know how abnormal it was until recently. So that's only been getting better lately, and it's so hard. Oh my gosh. I've seen people describe it as a drug. It really is like a drug, but I think I've been getting better, especially when it comes to listening to other people talk. I had a really bad problem where people would talk, and then if they say something that reminds me of something else, I would just doze off for so long, and I wouldn't understand what they're trying to tell me. But lately, since I've figured out that I had a problem, whenever I feel myself doing that, I just find a way to come back to the present. Anyway, what other things? Depression. I think I addressed everything. I don't know. If I left something out, that's just too bad, because I don't really rewatch the videos I make. So if I did miss something, you can just leave it in the comments and I'll just address it later. Yeah. But going from public to online school doesn't automatically mean that you get a certain kind of outcome. It doesn't mean that you'd automatically be better. You have to actually work on yourself. You need to go get treatment. I got treatment since being homeschooled. I got hospitalized and inpatient this year. And then it was by my choice. And then I got partial hospitalization at outpatient, my choice. If I was in public school, I wouldn't have been able to do that. In both facilities, the people who went there, it was so strange. Like, they were talking about how they needed to get back to school, and how they were fussing about how their teachers weren't letting them make up certain things and stuff like that. And I'm just here like, I do school while I'm here. Like, I do school as soon as I go back home. You know what I mean? So, although I didn't get to do as much as I would in a day. But what do you know? Yeah, so you definitely get more time to work on yourself. But if you are in a situation where you absolutely cannot afford to go get help, maybe switching out of public school isn't the best idea. And when I say absolutely, I mean like you're borderline homeless. I mean your family is like your family can barely put food on the table. Okay, if you are in that kind of situation, stay at public school. If you're looking to have better mental health and you need to speak to your school psychiatrist, if they have one, or school psychologist, if they have one, and explain your financial issue with your psychologist so they understand that they can't just refer you to a doctor. So there's that. But if you just switch out and you can't get help, because, for example, I was in a situation where my parents were like, my parents would just make it seem like they can't afford to send me to a therapist or a psychiatrist. And that's what they said, but I know for a fact that my parents make a lot of money. My my parents make so much money, so when they say they can't afford something, I know that they really mean that they're targeting their money towards other things, meaning that maybe they have to spend this money on clothes that we already have, so we don't absolutely need clothes, or they need to spend this money towards plane trips, need to spend this money towards my college and stuff like that. Like, I'm not in a, it's not like, oh, we can't, it wasn't a situation where they couldn't, I knew I wasn't in a situation where if I went to therapy that we couldn't eat, okay? So if you're not in that situation, then yeah, online school might be good for you. So, there's that. But I'm no professional, I'm not a social worker or anything, so like, don't take everything I say to heart. So, yeah. But the number one thing to be concerned about is the eating disorder thing, because like, it's so easy to just not eat. I lost so much weight being homeschooled, honestly. Like, I didn't even know I can go so long without eating, without going into specifics. But I don't do it on purpose. But, you know, it's not helpful for my eating disorder. Go outside, though, if you're concerned about falling into a dark mental state. Go outside, keep in contact with the people that you made close relationships with in high school, because believe me, if you leave the school, don't count on these people to reach out to you, okay? When you leave, keep in contact with them, and see who still pays attention to you when you contact them and who doesn't. And even if someone has good intentions, it might be a good idea to cut people out who just like ignore your text messages and don't open your Snapchats and stuff like that, because even though they may have good intentions and they don't mean to be hurting your feelings, they're just busy, it may play in your head that, oh my god, this person is living their good life, but they're not answering me, they just forgot about me, even though that may not be the case. But it's not good to have those kinds of thoughts in your head, and if it's caused by a certain person, maybe you just need to let go of them for a little bit and then reconnect later. Anyway, and then yeah, if in the future I realize that there's some other points I could have made in this video, I would maybe write it in the description or make it part 2. But yeah, everything I listed, I hope you keep in consideration when deciding to go from public school to online school, because it could do bad for you or it might do good. It depends on how you handle the transition from public to online. If you close yourself off, you don't contact anyone, you don't talk to anyone, you don't go outside, you don't even go to get the mail, you don't go to the grocery store, and you're closed off from the world, then what makes you think that you're gonna go from depressed to super happy, or from anxious to confident, from being OCD to living without hearing negative thoughts in your head over and over? Or, you know, you still have a mental illness. You can't, when you stay home from school when you have a fever, it doesn't get rid of the fever when you stay home. You still have the fever, you just have to fight it while you're at home. It's the same thing with mental illness. You're still mentally ill, you're just at home now. So, you gotta treat it as not a problem. You need to treat it as an illness. You can't just let it be and just like expect it to go off on its own and you just do nothing about it. So anyway, I hope this video made sense, because part of me feels like I didn't even have a point in this video. But anyway, I'm gonna go now because I'm really tired, because I had a long day. Goodbye.